And that's how theme song goes. Hey there, welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. If you didn't know, I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the premiere podcast for the website, youtube.com. Nope, for cpluscomedy.com. I don't know what's going on with me. I guess it's because I just got done watching. Actually, I can talk about this right now. Cobra Kai on YouTube. It's a wonderful show. It's the first YouTube Red show that I've actually sat down to watch. So it's insane that I'm actually even watching it. But Cobra Kai was picked up for a second season, and I started watching it because comedian Jimmy Pardo was talking about it on his podcast, Never Not Funny, and he had nothing but praise to say for it. For some reason, it is classified as a comedy drama. I don't know why that is such. It's barely a comedy. It's barely funny, but I really enjoy everything about it. I've only seen the first Karate Kid, and I've seen the most recent Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. Like, that came out, I think, maybe 10 years ago this time. At this point, sorry, but and then I've never seen the other two, the middle two, Karate Kid Part 2 and Karate Kid number 3 with the girl, where the girl is starring. But it's a great show. It's got a lot of the regular, the only two guys to come back, Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka, who have just aged ever so gracefully. And it's strange because I started watching the show right before I went to California, and it is I haven't seen Ralph Macchio or Billy Zabka since. Apparently Ralph Macchio was in Hitchcock. Oh my gosh. And no, never mind. That is the wrong movie I'm thinking about. That's the Alfred Hitchcock film, the biographical drama. I did not know he was in that one either. That's one with Anthony Hopkins. What else was he in? Crossroads. Oh, look at him. He was in Crossroads. That's 1986. And Psych, the movie. Psych had a movie. Yeah, it did. Ugly Betty. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. I should watch Ugly Betty. He was in 11 episodes. And How You Met Your Mother. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it was great that he was in that. He was also on Kevin Can Wait, which got Kevin Can canceled. Billy Zabka. No, I'm just very happy that show was canceled. Billy Zabka. Let's see. After the Karate Kid Part 2, he had a career. A lot of movies that I have not heard of. What is Dark Descent? Land Speed. Most. Smiley Face. Oh, he's in Smiley Face. I know that movie because I watched that movie. I did not like it. Hot Tub Time Machine, which I did like. ER, The Equalizer. I was in ER once. Equalizer. Oh, good for him. Okay, anyway, Cobra Kai follows, it's 34 years, and Billy Zabka's character, Johnny, is down in his luck. He reopens Cobra Kai, the fighting studio, what's it called, karate studio, and then Daniel LaRusso finds out, and he's mad, and then unbeknownst to Daniel, he starts training Johnny's son, and then unbeknownst to Johnny and Daniel, Johnny's new underling starts dating Daniel's daughter, and then it all comes to a head in episode 9 of the season. I've only watched up to episode 9, but episode 10 is going to hopefully rock my socks, because there's one scene in episode 9 where one of the girls, one of the main girls, she gave a front wedgie to one of the mean girls, and it was crazy. I think I just described everything, but I can't wait to see what happens. I'm excited. That is, like I said, the first YouTube Red series I have ever watched. And then I started watching Ryan Hansen Solves Crimes on Television, which is a YouTube Red show, oddly enough. And it's really funny. Ryan Hansen's a very funny guy, and I've liked him since, what's it called? Veronica Mars. And then I also started watching Do You Want to See a Dead Body? From Rob Hubel, and that's a great show too. But I will not watch anything else that is on YouTube Red. And coincidentally, YouTube Red is going to go up in price too, and they're changing the name to YouTube Premium. Go up in price $2 to $12. But hopefully I can keep my $10 price and keep Google Play Music at the exact same time, because they're introducing another way to listen to music as well for YouTube Music, which I think is called YouTube Music Premium or something like that. It's stupid. I don't understand. Anyway, I'll move on to, I also saw Paddington 2 on the plane. I wanted to talk about this last week, but I didn't. I love Paddington 2. It got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I hate agreeing with aggregates, but man, oh man, that is one of the best movies I have seen in my life. Paddington 2 is so well-meaning, just like the first one. The first one's a fantastic film, and this one just ups the ante even more. They're both so well-meaning and so just good-natured and wonderful that Paddington in the movie, he even reformed a couple of criminals, 3 criminals exactly. He turned a prison into a great working bakery. It's such a beautiful film. It's a Weinstein film too as well. Ooh, boy. Anyway, it's so good. It's so good, and I really wish that it was recognized more. Yeah, I know it got the 100 and stuff like that, but I wish it was nominated for stuff. Such a good movie. Oh, it was nominated for stuff. Let's see. British Academy Film Awards. Okay. It's only won all the, I think, how much is this? 7, 12. I can't count. 15 awards that it was given. It won, or it was nominated for. It won a few. Anyway, Paddington 2 is great. Watch it. It's fantastic. I also saw Last Flying Flag on the plane. First story for Paddington 2. I rented it like a day before I was going to fly out. And then I tried to download it the night before I was going to fly out. And then I did. First of all, I was having trouble downloading on Amazon, and it was not working for me. So then, also coincidentally, I said, I want to rent this movie on Saturday night. I said, I want to rent this movie before I fly out. And I'm already prepared to pay $5 to rent it in HD. And then I look, and it's one of like 5 movies that are on sale for rent for $1 on Amazon. What kind of world do we live in where that happens? It's amazing. I wish that happened to me all the time, but like, with stuff that actually mattered, like jobs. But anyway, so I rented it, and then I downloaded it, and then on the plane, the first thing I do, I sit down on the plane, I turn on Paddington 2. It doesn't work. The file does not work. I have to wait until I get to California to download it when I get Wi-Fi and watch it. It sucked. I hated that part. Anyway, then I saw Last Flying Flag, which is also an Amazon, which is an Amazon movie, directed by Richard Linklater. It's and adapted by Linklater and a guy named Daryl Ponnickson. It's a movie based on a book about Vietnam War veterans, Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, and Lawrence Fishburne, who come back together after Steve Carell's son is killed in the Iraq War. It's very touching. I mean this all in my heart. I hate movies that are about that are just sentimental about the war and stuff like that. But when a movie is so well done, just like Last Flag Flying, I love it. Very good movie. I just had a hiccup. I did it right on the mic, so if you turn up your sound, you can hear it. Anyway, it was really wonderful, and I really enjoyed every last moment in that movie. It's sad. It's funny. It's powerful. I don't know if I used that word. I probably did. It's really, really good. Very good Amazon films. But I gotta keep going. Don Verdean. I started watching that on the plane too. It's very strange. I downloaded that movie from Netflix, and I said I don't know what this is, but it's got people I like in it. I'm gonna start watching it. It's a movie about. It's classified as a drama adventure. I don't know about that. It's more of a comedy. Directed by Jared Hess, written by Hess and Jershua. I assume his brother? Jershua? What kind of name is that? Jerusha? Are they Jewish? No. They're from Nebraska and Arizona, respectively. I don't care. Anyway, those are guys who did Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, Gentlemen Broncos, and Masterminds. Ugh. Yeah, that explains a lot of things. Anyway, Don Verdean is just like Masterminds, is an acquired taste. But it's a movie about Sam Rockwell. He plays a guy who tricks people into believing that he found archaeological stuff from the biblical archaeological items. And Amy Ryan's in it, Jermaine Clement's in it. Danny McBride plays a preacher who is duped by Sam Rockwell's character. Will Forte's in it, Leslie Bibb. And it's fine. I haven't seen it all the way through, but I mean, it's all right. I wouldn't say it's one of the best movies out there. I'm not even gonna get right into it. Also, I saw 47 Meters Down. Fantastic film. I can't believe that it was overblown like that. I'm not overblown, overlooked. It stars Mandy Moore and Claire Holt, and they go on a trip to Mexico after Mandy Moore gets broken up with. That's not important. They go to a trip to Mexico. Essentially, they get locked underwater. This happens like 30 minutes in. They get locked underwater, and they're going deep sea diving to see sharks get locked underwater, and then they have to try to escape because a school of sharks are swimming around them. Really great. I enjoyed it. I don't want to say anything, but I had a good time with it. And sharks are scary. It wasn't a scary movie. It was very tense though. I wouldn't call it's a survival horror film. I would just call it I would say it's a thriller. I wouldn't say it's scary at all. It's very tense, and then it's very enjoyable. Claire Holt apparently got first billing, top billing. She's on the left side of the poster. Mandy Moore's on the right side. I put Mandy Moore on the left side, of all people. And then I saw this morning, actually today, 11:30 this morning at AMC. I saw Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy. I think it doesn't have the best reviews, but I think it is a very enjoyable film. She and Ben, Melissa and her husband Ben Falcone wrote it, and he directed it. I think it was Melissa McCarthy played a very, is it thundering outside? Oh my God. Anyway, Melissa McCarthy played a very subdued character in this one. Whereas if you look at the pair's last movies, which were Tammy and The Boss that they did together, Tammy is kind of over the top, and then The Boss straddles the line between going, sane and insane. Not going insane, but going sane and going insane. But she straddles the line between both of those. And then for this one, she's very much under the line. She has to pull back a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of great jokes in here. And there's a dance scene at an 80s party that is not, it's very good, but it's not explored enough. Where Melissa McCarthy dances against a bully. But Melissa McCarthy's in it, Gillian Jacobs, Maya Rudolph, and then Matt Walsh, Julie Bowen, Stephen Root, Jimmy O. Yang, just Chris Parnell, Heidi Gardner, Christina Aguilera popped up for some reason. Not for some reason, but she popped up in the last act of the movie. And, it happened. But it's a fine movie. What do you expect? It's the first comedy movie this summer. And it's, speaking of which, we usually get a Zac Efron flick around this time. Let's see. You usually get a Zac Efron flick with the help from the guys who did Neighbors. Not Seth. Is it Cohen? Is it Andrew J? Yeah, Andrew Cohen. They taking the year off because they did Neighbors, then Neighbors 2, then Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, then The House. They did 2 in 2016, which was Neighbors 2 and Mike and Dave, and I love those movies. I have every single one of the Cohen and who does he work with? Brendan O'Brien. Yeah, Brendan O'Brien and Andrew J. Cohen. They both wrote the Neighbors 2, Mike and Dave, and The House, and I love every single one of those films because they're funny and they're enjoyable. And if you expect too much from a comedy, then you're going to get sorely disappointed, which is why Life of the Party was just so great to me. Like Gillian Jacobs plays one of the sorority sisters in the movie, and Melissa McCarthy goes, "Oh, she looks older than all of you." She goes, "Oh, I was in a coma for 8 years." That's the crux of the joke. And she's famous because she's not famous, but she's Twitter famous and Instagram famous because she was in a coma and she survived. She's a medical marvel and people love her and everything. And I love that so much. And it's a lot of good jokes in there. Zac Efron was on Robot Chicken. Very cool. He was also Running Wild with Bear Grylls, which is, I'm amazed with how they can get some of the biggest people, not including President Obama, but they can get some of the biggest people. Michael B. Jordan, Kate Hudson, Kate Winslet, Channing Tatum, Ben Stiller. How do you land these people for a network show in the wilderness, set in the wilderness? That's insane to me. But everybody likes Bear Grylls. But if we find out anything that he did something to some women, then boy, oh boy, will he be. Sterling K. Brown, Shaquille O'Neal. I think Shaq's down to do anything. I'm pretty sure he would be. He's a cop. He's a sheriff. Okay, and then Courtney Barnett she put out an album this week, and I just need to find the title. I'm sorry. I feel so bad because I just listened to the album today. Courtney Barnett's album, Tell Me How You Really Feel, is enjoyable. It's really good. I made the mistake of actually reading the review on the AV Club before or skimming through most of it. I didn't read it. Skimming through most of it because I'm a cynic and I wanted to see how the thing turned out, how the album turned out. And you know what? Whoever reviewed it gave it a C or C minus, something like that. That's my issue. I should not have done that. They gave it a C. I should have. Let's see who wrote the review. It was Annie Zaleski. I remember reading the review, seeing the C, and then going, "Who wrote this?" Annie Zaleski, and that name stuck out to me. I remember that. I very much remember that. No, it's a very. And she gave it a C. But you know, all the other reviews are good, whatever. But anyway, it's a nice 10 song. Is that how you say it? 10. There's 10 songs on it. It's very good. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Track number 6, "I'm Not Your Mother, I'm Not Your Female Dog," is very. They replace the last 2 words with the common word. It's very good. And then this opening song, "Hopefulness," is very good. "Charity" is wonderful. "Nameless Faces." Faceless is also very engaging. "Sunday Roast" is a great closer. It's only 37 minutes long. It's very short. I would agree with Annie over at the AV Club. She did say it wasn't as she did say it wasn't as electric. That's not the word she used, but electric and upbeat and punk as the last album, which was not a lot of sea lice, you idiot. What's the album before that? The album before that, "Sometimes I Sit and Think, and Sometimes I Just Sit." That's one of the best albums I've heard in my life. I really like that album. One of the best albums I heard in my life. I just love it so much. My life, 25 years on this planet. It's one of the best albums I heard in my life. But yeah, it's a wonderful album. You should check it out. A lot of Sea Lice is good too. Courtney Barnett's just a fantastic artist, and I really enjoy her. Her and Lucy Dacus. I was also listening to the All Songs Considered, and on from NPR, and they seem to enjoy it. The Friday show, the Friday Mix show, the one that just recently came out. So check it out. It's wonderful. Okay, now we can get into the meat of what I wanted to talk. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. I meant to record Flash. It's 8:06. I'm recording this. There's another late record for this stupid show. But I want to talk about something that happened for Arrested Development over there on the Netflix channel. So here's what happens. So a couple years ago, I think in 2016 or 15, it doesn't matter. Netflix and Mitchell Hurwitz. Mike Hurwitz? I don't know the guy's name. Let's see. Hurwitz. In a recent post on social media, Mitchell Hurwitz. It's Mitch Hurwitz. Okay, so anyway, he tweeted out a picture earlier in May, about 21 days ago at this point, that said he was going to re-edit season 4 of Arrested Development that came out in 2016. So he did this for a couple of reasons. Once the deal with Netflix is up, they are going to, I think Netflix owns the rights outright. I think they bought them from under Fox years ago, when they, of course, made the first season 4. So the original season 4 was like 15 episodes, and each episode followed one character, and sometimes the other characters appeared, but it was each one character. Mitch Hurwitz, like I know, Hurwitz re-edited the entire season into 22 episodes for syndication rights, because Netflix is going to syndicate the show in a couple of years around the world, obviously. So that's why you want a full order of 22 episodes. And now each episode, has extra time in it, and not extra time, extra scenes in it that weren't originally on the cutting room floor, and this and that and blah blah blah. Turns out the new season is not good. Not good as in not good. It's not the best season of Arrested Development. And there's a lot of narration, at least for the early episodes. I'm only on episode 4. There's a lot of narration from Ron Howard that is saying, hey, remember this. And it's stuff that paid off, because for the original edit of the season, 15 episode season, the episodes were like 30 something minutes long, which is too long again for a comedy on TV show. But you had to watch each episode, and then jokes would eventually pay off down the line in the season. But now with these 22 episodes for season 4, it's every joke it pays off in like a minute, and it kind of, admittedly, kind of stinks, and a lot of people agree with that. And it's just It's not really fulfilling to watch that, whereas the first seasons were just these monolithic episodes of television that did justice for each other. But the issue is the cast wanted extra dough for these recut episodes. And when you really get into the nitty gritty of it, it makes sense. So Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Michael Cera, and David Cross asked for extra money after Hurwitz and 20th Century Fox re-edited the episodes, and then just because they wanted to provide to get this syndication deal for the series, and then they also wanted to get new fans. This is all from Hollywood Reporter. Arrested Development pay dispute erupts over recut episodes. It's an exclusive. So the episodes, the season's not that entirely great in the first place, even when it came out in 2016. But Hurwitz added a few minutes of stuff, like I said earlier, and then each episode is 22 minutes long, so that they can be sold in bulk, But so here's what happens. So according to sources, most of the cast they were paid $100,000 for each of their standalone episodes. So if Michael Cera had 2 standalone episodes, he had $200,000. Jeffrey Tambor, if he had $100,000. If Bateman had 3, he had $300,000. Obviously, that's math. $50,000 for each installment where they had a little screen time, which is like 1 or 2 scenes, and then, or I seem like, a few scenes, because then they had $25,000 for ones in which they barely appeared. So, you could they probably each made a decent chunk of change for appearing in 4 or 5 episodes each. So reps for the cast have asked for additional fees to correspond with additional episodes, but 20th has balked, arguing that it has the right to re-edit the existing episodes that have already aired however it chooses without paying the actors more, which is total bullcrap. Their season, so now that brings, instead of the 15 episodes, also, including the recut season, Arrested Development now has 75 episodes, which is getting it closer to the hundreds that it needs to be syndicated for. For a cartoon to be syndicated, it has to be 52 episodes, and that's why a lot of the cartoons in the early 90s and early 2000s have only 52 episodes for syndication rights. So once the May 29th episodes appear, it's next week, though that consists of, 17 episodes, apparently? That's what happened. That's what they said in 2015. But 17 episodes, that's very close to the 100. But yeah, this is it's a very interesting issue, because you really should get more money for these scenes that were not shown by any other party. No one has seen these before, and it doesn't make sense for somebody to Mitch Hurwitz particularly to get paid because he spent a year re-editing episodes that no one really thought should be re-edited. It's kind of like if I did a project, if I wrote a paper in college and then 2 years later I said I need that A, even though I'm graduated, I need that A. I go back to the professor and I go, listen. That paper, that 6-page paper, I made it into a 15-page paper, and I need you to look at it again. Spend your time looking at it, and I need you to give me a higher grade. That's so crazy, Mitch Hurwitz. How could you do that? And who was asking for this? Who said? Obviously, the season wasn't as well accepted. It wasn't as much loved as the first 3 seasons when it was on broadcast. But why would you go out of your way and say, okay, you know what? I don't feel that this is good. I mean, obviously, for Lord of the Rings, I'm looking at Lord of the Rings right now. If it was recut, I assume those people at least got a little bit of change. Or it was the extended edition, so it wasn't even recut. Like, this guy came in, chopped up these episodes, and I understand he owns it, but it doesn't it's not fair for everybody else. And 20th is just being rude about this. Man, 20th is not good. I mean, I would love for them to give me a show, but 20th is not good. This reminds me of, I did an episode of News Time years ago when it was still bad. because I think it's obviously good now. But when it was still bad, Sony wanted to recut rated R movies for families. And I'm going to look that up. I should have been looking that up now. Recuts R rated. It's better that I type this out. Movies for families. I could have copied and pasted, but I'm typing it like an idiot. Let's see. All right, so here's the article from Screen Crush. This happened last year, not even years ago. This happened last year in June 2017. So here's the thing. Oh boy. All right, so it was called Sony's clean version. They wanted to take out all the bad stuff, all the quote unquote mature content, and like swears and the intense moments, and then make it suitable for families. So stupid. Let's see. So the initial thing included 24 movies like Moneyball and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like, I'm gonna watch. I would show my child Moneyball right now if I had a child. God, I hope I don't have a child. Ugh. Oh, please, women, if you're listening and we have had sex, boy, I hope I don't have a child. Shut up, chat. Let's see, 51st Dates, Battle of the Year, Big Daddy, Captain Phillips. What is bad in Captain Phillips? People, Easy A. Why would you show your child Easy? First of all, I would show my child Easy A because that's PG-13. Second, I can't remember anything bad in that movie because that's a wonderful movie though. Elysium, Crouching Tiger, Ghostbusters 2. No, I would show my 3-year-old Ghostbusters. Goosebumps. What? Grown Ups 2. Those are children's movies. Hancock, Inferno, Moneyball, Pixels, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, White House Down. Okay, I mean, I would show my child all of this. I don't understand what the appeal of this would be. Seth Rogen came out and said, like, pretty quickly, and said no. He said, "Holy moly, please don't do this to our movies. Thanks. Nobody wants this." Apparently, they didn't even go to the directors. I remember that part of the story. They didn't even go to the directors and ask. They just said, "Hey, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be great." That is a bad way to make extra money. Like, what if you go to your Walmart and you see in the DVD section, you see a DVD version of Talladega Nights, you see a Blu-ray version of Talladega Nights, you see a 4K version of Talladega Nights, and then you see a children's version of Talladega Nights. Why would you? Who? It's insane to me. Oh man. Then we find out that Fox canceled all those shows because of they wanted more football. That's stupid. LA to Vegas was canceled today, and I finished the season last week, a few days ago, and I thought it was fine. But man, that sucks. LA to Vegas was canceled. A lot of good people on that show. Kim Matula, David Duchovny. All right, I've been talking for a minute, so I'm probably going to hang up now. How long has it been? 28 minutes. If you like this, you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com. We got the latest names, review. Oh, God. I'm not supposed to use that closer anymore because I don't use that, because I haven't written news or reviews in a long time. And also I said names reviews. If you like this, you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where I guess there's some stuff. You can follow us on Twitter at @CPlusComedy. Follow me on Twitter at @ChatBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Go to the webpage, youtube.com/CPlusComedy. It's where our premiere show, News Time, is, which is a wonderful show, a weekly news program that I do. It's about entertainment business and things surrounding it, things surrounding the entertainment business. So, yeah. This week's episode is about Pop TV and how it dominated at the upfronts and no one noticed. Pop TV is a network that is owned by CBS and Lionsgate. It's got a lot of cool shows, a lot of forward-thinking shows. It's like Freeform, but for deep cable. So check it out. Check out the episode of News Time. I think I did a good job. And yeah, there you go. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.